Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away. Look, I've got a big grin on my face already today because it is new build day and we're going to be building the first pack of the Fanhome release of Build Star Wars Darth Vader. Now this is one of my anticipated builds of the year. I cannot wait to start building this. Now, I did have the opportunity to see this in New York Comic Con, but the folks over at Fanhome did invite me over to Barcelona to see some of the parts of Darth Vader as well. And you can see that in this little video here when they unveiled it to the public. And it looks absolutely amazing. I'm telling you that now. First model I think we're going to be building on the channel, which has actually got material. You're going to be seeing that as we go through the build as well. I am going to talk to you about what you get in the first pack. I'll talk you through the build of what we're building as well. But if you do want to get this for yourself, I've put a link in the video description. You've got the QR code on the screen. And when you do subscribe, if you do use where it says put a promotional code in there, if you can use the code WayneDarth, put that on the screen as well. It will just let the folks over at Fanhome know that you've come from the World of Wayne YouTube channel. So, Darth Vader, let me show you what we're building. So, this is the brochure that normally comes in the first pack of every one of the builds we're doing. And if I just turn that over, it's telling you if you subscribe, some of the free gifts that you get when you do subscribe to this. Now, these may change going down the line. Obviously, if you're watching this video 2 years later and it's still available, these may change. But at the moment, as you can see, we've got a binder here. We've got a mug, we've got a t-shirt, we've got a water bottle there, and we've got some prints, which looks pretty cool. And a premium offer upgrade. We've got an illuminated base that your Darth Vader can sit into. So check that out as well. And if you pay with PayPal, you can receive this special gift as well, which is a Star Wars backpack. Now, the brochures normally open out to tell you everything about the build here. It has got a remote control. Comes with a light up saber. It's 1:2 scale, so it's the same scale as the R2D2 that we built. As I said, there is that premium base there. It's articulated. You've got uniform and armor, so it's not just the cloth. You've got the armor underneath that as well. It's sound, it's lights, helmet and mask. It's all singing, all dancing Darth Vader, and obviously these open out into the poster that you can see there. Now, each stage that we do come with the instructions, but it's also a collectible in itself having the magazines because you've got your entire journey encyclopedia as we go through the build. Also, when you subscribe, you do get a welcome letter, which looks like that, telling you how you can manage your account. But we are at that stage. Here we go. Without further ado, let's get cracking. So, here we go. I'm all nervous. I get so emotional doing these because this is the beginning of a new adventure. But as you can see, we do get a magazine with each stage, and each magazine does detail parts of the Star Wars saga, as you can see there. And these are a collectible in themselves. So check that out. Okay, and they are jumping into the deep end when we're starting to build this. We're going to be starting on the helmet. Loads of parts in the first stage here. You have a look here as well. They do provide a screwdriver. I will be using my own screwdrivers, but if you haven't got them, you can get working on this straight away because they do provide that for you in this build. And it's step-by-step instructions of how we are actually building Darth Vader's mask there. So that is stage one. Let's do this. And the first pack is big. Not sure how big. Check that out compared to my head. I will be doing the size comparison because my head is an international unit of measure between Darth Vader's helmet, what you get in the first pack. So there you go. Just trying to find a camera I can display this on because it's so big. As I said, you do get your own screwdriver, which is in here. Now this is a Phillips head PH0 screwdriver. And it looks just like that. Now, through this build, I am going to be using my own screwdriver. I actually use two when I do my builds. I've got a Wera PH0 and I've got a Wera PH1 here. Most of the time, it's the same as this one here. It's a PH0. Now, to give you an idea of size, like I said, this, compared to my head, is the actual face mask, half scale. And obviously, this is going to be the helmet, which is going on top just there. So, this will hopefully give you an idea how big this actually is. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to be taking these grill sections here. Now we need the left parts of the grill sections and they are labelled 1.1 and 1.2 on the back here. I want the vents to be facing down So when I put this in, probably best on the top camera, that one's going to go in there, and this one's going to go in here. And again, make sure they're all going in the same direction like that. Now they are click-on, so you do need to push them quite firmly in there so that they can stay in position, just like that. So as you can see, not going to fall out. We're going to be doing the same on these areas just here. And again, we've got 1.3 and 1.4. And again, make sure the vents are going all in the same way. So one in there. And one just below it. That's how it should look at the moment. So then I'm going to be putting a bit of circuitry in now that looks like this. Now these have lugs at the bottom. Lugs are just these tabs at the bottom here. They're going to go into the holes following this groove that we got here. So if I put this one in first, we've got one just pushed into here, like that. And I'll push the other one in at the bottom here. So that is the first circuit in. And do the same on this side. So again, one in here. And then push the other one just into the groove here. So they're both in just like that. We do need one just down the center here. That's a very thin piece looking like this. And it can only go one way round. So I'm just going to line up the tabs for this and push this in. Perfect. So that is now how that's looking. Putting the iconic grille into place now. Now this is metal and it's just going to be sitting into that area here. So it fits flat in there, just like that, probably best on the top camera there. And then I've got the actual guard that's going over the top of that. It goes this way round. So you see this is flat at the top rather than that way round. So it's going to go this way round. This is metal, just so you know. Drop that into place just there. I've then got this nose piece to put in. It's got a tab at the back, which is going to go through that hole at the top. Just need to make sure it lines up, so then that can fit flush in there like that. And then we've got these A screws here. Let's open them up. Get our screwdriver. And this is actually going to be secured from the back side here. So you can see we've got a hole there. And I'll just put this into place. So by putting that screw in, that has now held this whole area at the front into place. Now I've got some more circuitry to put in. And I'm just going to lay this out because we've got two sets which look pretty similar. We've got these here. Again, these are metal. And then longer ones here. And these are metal also. So you can see the indent probably on the top camera where these are going to go. So I'm going to put this one in first. And it pushes in. Just like that. Do the same on the other side where we've got this indent here. And then we've got these longer ones which just fit kind of on the indents here. I'm just realising we probably should have put these ones in first. Because it does actually fit underneath this one that we put in. So just make sure that you can actually put it under there, just like that. And push this in as well. So when they're both in, they should look like that. It's interesting that that circuitry is actually metal. I think that's great. Do the same just on the other side here. And there you go. They're all in, and that is all there is to do in that stage. So this is stage 2, looking like this. Again, here is the magazine. Have a flick through that so you can see all the stories and articles in here. And we are now going to continue on to the helmet. We've got this whole section here, looking like that. We're going to be adding to what we've just created here. So by the end of this stage, that is how it's looking. Another big pack. Check that out. Let's get this open. Now, this is the helmet that we had in the first stage, looking like that. We're going to be fitting the central band in just to this area at the top here. So this is what the central band's looking like. And again, this is just a case of lining up the lugs and pushing them in. just the left hand side of the lugs this time. So get these in all the way around. Now you can see, top camera, we've got 2 screw holes here. They're for B screws, which are in this bag here. And I'm going to screw these into place just here. So we've got one here, and then just one this side over here. So that central band is not going to move now. Once we've done that, we can put that to one side. And we're going to start working on the respirator now, looking like this. So we've got some details to put in here. And as you can see, I've just laid out all of the tiny details that we've got that are going to go into this. So first one is a roundish one looking like that. That's going to go into the second lot of holes along. So that goes in here. I'm just going to push that in. And this is the one that's got the slit in it. We've got one that's very similar, which has got a red slit in it. And that's going to go just on the end here in the same direction. So we've got a black and a red. And then I've got this switches block looking like this, which is going to cover this area here. Can only go in one way. We've got 3 lugs on the end of this one. That's all pushed in. And then finally, between the switches we put in, we've got these switches, which are just going to go one in there. Again, the same way round, and one in there. So that's how that's looking. So the next thing to do is to put these supports into place. Now these are going to go into the 2 holes that you can see there for these 2 lugs, so that when we put them in, they line up at the bottom again on the top camera, just like that. Do the same on the other side. And just get that one in. So this edge is actually flat. It can sit there flat like that. Now, got these 4 head circuits to go in. Now these are actually going to be going just into the hole that we've got in line with this here. You can see an indent for it. So if I put one in, they're going to actually go in just like that there. Now these are metal, just so you know. Put one in the other side. And there you go. They're both in just like that. Turn this whole thing over, and we've got a mask cover to put in here now, which looks like this here. It goes this way round, just on top of what we've put in here, and I'm going to be holding that in with type A screws. They're in the bag here. So one this side just into this position here, and one the other side just there. So now that is how that's looking. Now on top of that, I've got the internal mouth protector looking like this. This is just going to be going this way round, just on top of that section there. Once again, another A screw to secure that in. Just the one this time down the centre here. So that's how that looks when it's in. I can now put this to one side, and I'm going to be bringing over the neck section that you can see here. And what I'm going to do is on the inside of this, we've got 3 foam pieces to put in of the neck. Now, if you have a look at this, you can probably see the indent of this foam going around here. That's how we're going to be putting this in. And these are adhesive. So let's take the adhesive off. And put this one into place first. So what I'm doing is following the line of that indent on the inside. On the other side, I've got this other indent here. Put the other side in. That's the second one in there. And then finally we've got this piece at the front. And there is a little indent of this as well, which goes right down the bottom here. Getting that in. Perfect. So with the foam in, that's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. So let's just look what we've done. We've done the neck with the foam. We've done some of the switches there, which we're not actually going to use at this time. So this is actually going to be put to one side. We've got a speaker grill here, which we haven't used at the moment. Again, we need to save that for next time. And included in that are some of these electrics here. Now, I don't know what these are. That looks like some sort of sensor there. We've also got the speaker, which looks like this, which is eventually going to go in there. I've got a voice box grill. We haven't used that yet. So that's just going to go there. And I've got these 2 parts here. So they're the parts that we've got left over that we're going to need to save for next time. And obviously, this is what we've been working on and completing in this stage. And I really am impressed with all the metal on here. And not forgetting, we also did this section here. looking just like that. I've got a big smile. I've been anticipating this build for some time. So now, in the first pack, as I said, we do get the first 2 stages. If you do want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description. You do have that QR code on the screen, and remember to use that code WayneDarth and put that into the promotional section there. It lets the guys over at Fanhome know that you come from the World of Wayne YouTube channel. Anyway, I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.